Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Owl About Rice Guide to Commencement Parent Webinar. My name is David Humphrey. I'm the Assistant Director of Parents and Families Programming here at Rice, and we are so pleased that you have joined us today. While commencement is the culmination of some great accomplishments by your student throughout their Rice journey, we also know that this is an equally important moment for you, their parents and supporters. Our hope is that you're able to walk away today with clarity and excitement around this upcoming milestone and equipped with resources to help you as you plan for this upcoming celebration of your OWL. If this is your first Owl About Rice parent webinar that you have viewed, we are glad to have you and would encourage you to check out the recordings of our previous webinars, which are available at parents.rice.edu/webinar. If for any reason you need to step out during today's presentation, please know that a recording of this webinar will be made available at that same website later this week. So that's parents.rice.edu/webinar. As you can see, we have a full agenda for our presentation today, including information from numerous panelists across Rice's campus to share about the undergraduate commencement ceremony for this spring. You'll first be hearing from Rachel Clay in our registrar's office with information on pre-commencement procedures for your student to follow up on. Next, our campus bookstore manager, Michael Broussard, will be sharing information about graduation regalia, followed by Eva Francavilla from our Office of Alumni Relations to discuss the Rice Ring and pre-commencement events and ceremony. We will then have Susan Christian from the Office of Public Affairs share about the commencement ceremony itself and some of the logistics surrounding the events. And Tamara Jones from the Division of Student Life and Undergraduate Education will close by sharing an expected schedule and some helpful tips for the days of commencement. After our presentation, we will move to a Q&A where our panelists will answer some of your pre-submitted questions you've sent in ahead of the webinar. If you have any questions that pop up during this presentation, please feel free to submit those through our Q&A function, which we will be using to answer questions live today. If we do not get to a question that you ask, please feel free to reach out to our office by emailing parents@rice.edu, and we'll make sure that your question gets to the right place. Without further ado, I will hand it off to Rachel Clay with the Office of the Registrar to get us started with pre-commencement procedures.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. And again, my name is Rachel Clay. I'm one of the Associate Registrars here in the Office of the Registrar. And our office has already been preparing for weeks and really months for the May 2026 commencement. So some of the things we want to highlight to you as parents and as you're in touch with your students are some resources available to them. And we've been working with departments to make sure students are on track to meet their graduation requirements. So many of the deadlines have actually already passed. For instance, students needed to indicate their intention to graduate for May 2026 back in the fall of 2025. And just last week, our faculty had a deadline to review those students and their progress toward the degree. So many of our pertinent deadlines have already passed. And in some ways, our work has just begun, but we appreciate their patience and their collaboration in this process. But we have sent out some surveys by email to the students, asking them graduation-related questions such as, is the diploma name correct? Is the diploma mailing address correct? Do they intend to participate and walk across the stage in May? And again, we have already sent those communications, but it's very important for the students to respond to them and to check their Rice email account regularly and respond promptly to those communications. Our office will send all communication to the students' official Rice email address. Another resource to point out, and this has been available their entire time at Rice for registration and other things, but Esther is available for some graduation related information. So their Esther account, esther.rice.edu, students can log into Esther and they can see their current graduation information, such as have they applied to graduate? Is their diploma name and mailing address correct? They can also access degree works through Esther and track their progress toward the degree, all in that portal. So we encourage students to regularly and frequently check Esther. And also, we just wanted to point out our website, the Office of the Registrar website, which is just registrar at rice.edu. We have a number of pages on our website that answer some frequently asked questions related to graduation and related to diplomas and everything commencement related as well. And then the academic calendar is there, which states many very important deadlines related to commencement. So we encourage people to go to our website and you just simply use the search feature. We also have our own chatbot, which is Sammy the Owl. Feel free to ask Sammy any questions you have or use the search feature. And the humans behind the scenes, are here to help and answer any questions that maybe if you don't find the answer to them on our website, we are here to help. So we just encourage students to check their Rice email, especially for those surveys or time-sensitive information, to check their ESTR and work with departments if they have questions about their degree progress, and then to contact us if anything has changed or if they have any questions related to that they couldn't get answered on our website. So thank you for joining us today. That's all I have today.
All right. Now, Michael Broussard from our campus bookstore will talk a little bit about the Rice regalia.
Good afternoon, guys. I'm Michael Broussard. I'm the campus store manager here at Rice. First and foremost, I would like to say congratulations to everyone participating in the ceremony. I know it's a big day. My goal here is to make sure that everything is as seamless as possible to make sure that you're able to just focus on celebrating these achievements. Um, to walk during the commencement ceremony, all undergraduate candidates are required to wear a cap with tassel, a gown, and a hood. As you can see on the slide, we have all of our colors that are for the specific hoods that go with the schools. We have gold and yellow for natural sciences and engineering. We have white for humanities and social sciences, brown for architecture, drab for business, and pink for music. Students are also welcome to wear their residential college stole, which they will receive directly from their college. Can we move over to the next slide? This is how and where to order your regalia. You would shop through Belfour at buildagrad.com. To get free pickup at the bookstore, you must place your orders by March 29th, or to have it shipped to your home, the deadline is April 5th. There is a shipping fee for this, but you do receive your regalia earlier if you're trying to take graduation photos or anything. That's the recommended option for that. In-store purchases will start on March 16th. However, sizes and specific hood colors are limited. So I highly recommend ordering online to guarantee that you get the correct size and that you're prepared for commencement. I really do want to encourage everyone to order online because it saves you money and it guarantees that you'll be prepared for the day of ceremony. I'm here to help. If anyone has any questions about sizing or ordering, you can just shoot me an email at 1545mgr@follett.com. And I look forward to seeing you all in your regalia pretty soon.
All right. Now, up next, we'll have Eva Francavilla, who works in our Office of Alumni Relations, to discuss the Rice Ring and some of the pre-commencement activities and events. Oh, Eva, I think you're muted.
Oopsie. Thanks. Thank you, David. I appreciate it. Everyone, my name is Eva Francavilla. I am in the Office of Alumni Relations with David, and my purview is current students and recent alumni. So if your grad comes to any events, they'll definitely see my face after they graduate. But first things first is Rice Ring. So Rice Ring is the longest tradition. It was started in 1916. Rice had started in 1912, so it's almost up into the start of Rice. In order to be able to order a ring from Balfour, students need to complete 90 credit hours. And what we do with this is we contact the registrar's office, make sure we have that information, and then send out emails that way. So they should have gotten an email, and parents should have gotten an email if you're on record for that. Our Rice Ring Days happen every semester with Balfour. So they are currently happening right now. They were Tuesday, Wednesday, and we have one last day tomorrow. They're going to be in the Rice Memorial Center, right in the front of the Grand Hall, and Balfour will be there with rings, different styles, and to be able to place orders. If you want to order a rice ring or your student wants to order a rice ring, they must do so before March 20th in order to receive it before graduation. How this goes is rings will be sent to my office, and we have new alumni block party on May 6th, the Wednesday before graduation, where students can pick up their rings. And along with that, commencement is such an exciting time for your student and for family in general. So there's a ton of different events and they're still rolling in. Couple schools of studies have started putting out their communications. School of Architecture has their ceremonies out. Engineering also has theirs. I would suggest talking to your student and making sure they are on top of their emails with their school of study to see what is in the works. With that, we also have infinity groups, which are our rice identity based organizations. They will hold different ceremonies for students that have been involved in certain clubs and have related to there. We have a couple different um, variations there. And then, like I mentioned before, new alumni block party, that is something from the Office of Alumni Relations, just to say, hey, you're almost an alum. Enjoy your commencement week. If you ordered a ring, pick up a ring. We'll have different type of food. We'll have uh, refreshments, we'll have games and things like that. So just a really fun way for students to start off their commencement week. And along with that, residential colleges are so, so important to our community at Rice. So they usually have their receptions early afternoon on Saturday the 9th, but make sure to talk to your student to see when that is happening. And once we receive more information on what's happening on campus, it will be on our commencement website. So we'll try to keep us updated as possible with all of that. But a super exciting week and a super busy week, but very congratulations to yourself and your graduate.
All right. So after a little bit of info about leading up to the ceremony, we're going to talk about the ceremony itself with Susan Christian in Public Affairs.
Can you hear me now, David?
Yes, you're good.
Okay, sorry. Congratulations to all of you parents. This is the most exciting event of your child's education. And our goal, all of my colleagues here, our goals are to ensure that not only is their experience going to be great, but we want yours to be great as well. So thank you, David, for organizing this event. So ticketing, this year all the degree candidates can claim up to 10 tickets, 10 guest tickets. If you need more, just request them. But the far majority of graduates typically get 10 tickets. So it's pretty easy to request additional tickets if you want. You'll receive, or your students will receive, instructions on claiming their tickets through their Rice email. And students will be responsible for not only claiming their tickets, but also for distributing their tickets. We do not offer that service for commencement. Tickets can be printed, or you can show them on your phone. And anyone that's over 2 years old will require a ticket. So everyone always asks about parking. And if you've not been at the stadium, I hope you have. I'm sure you've been following our Owls. But there is plenty of parking around the stadium and literally thousands of spaces. So plan on parking around there whenever you come in. One of the things that I love about Rice is transportation. The shuttle service at Rice is excellent, and we use it daily for all of us who work there, and your student and your children use it as well. So we hope you'll utilize the shuttle service, and there are ample shuttles that, in fact, all of our shuttle services or vans and buses will be running on commencement weekend. If you require, or your guests require, special assistance, we do have limited parking passes, and so we ask that you request those parking passes through parking at rice.edu. Seating, gates will open at 5 p.m. It's on a first come, first served basis. There are plenty of seats. We actually encourage you to sit on the side that your student is on, that their college is on. And you'll see it here on the screen. It's very specific which side those colleges will be seated, which side of the stadium. Also, accessible seating and an ASL interpreter sections are available. So be sure and take special care of where those are located on this map. And this map, of course, is on our commencement.rice.edu website as well. Okay, and let's see. I think I have another screen. There we go. We do have, look, I know all of you have gone to various high-profile events, whether they're professional sporting events or theatrical performances, and really our prohibited items are the very same, right? So weapons of any kind are not allowed. Banners, signs, flags, artificial name noisemakers, balloons, tobacco products, laser pointers, drones, pets, unless it's a service animal, or oversized bags. Permitted items are small handbags, anything 4.5 by 6.5 in size is acceptable, but like all stadiums, practically anything above that is clear bag only. Food containment in a clear plastic bag, no larger than a gallon size. We know that those bringing infants or maybe any other special need might need that, and that's okay. We'll have water available on site. Also, you are allowed, umbrellas are allowed, and just remember the weather in Houston can change, so always, pretty quickly. So always look ahead on your weather apps. It's hot generally in May, and so it's okay to bring umbrellas for sun or if it's misting as well. This year we will have a variety of menu items for sale at the concessions and both food and drink. So come early and you'll be well taken care of. Thank you, David.
And Susan, and just one quick question that came up in the chat too. When and who do our parents and families contact for additional tickets, and when will those be available?
That you can do that through the web portal, and we are sending out invitations. Our goal is to send out invitations by the end of next week, but just say they will get to you within the next 2 to 3 weeks. And so it'll have all of that information on it as well. But you can go into the commencement and request extra tickets.
All right. Well, thank you, Susan. Then now we'll go on to Tamara, who's going to share with us a little bit about what the day of commencement will look like and some tips for going about the ceremony.
Yes. Hello, parents. So I am a student services administrator in the Dean of Undergraduate's office, but I'm also a resident associate. I've lived on campus for almost 8 years, so that's 8 years of commencement ceremonies. The core team is right there on the field with your students, so it's a very exciting day. It's an emotional day. It's a lot of fun, but it is a very long day. So my tips are hopefully to keep everybody relaxed and in a good mood. But if I had to design the perfect day for you and your family on the day of undergraduate commencement, I would say gather the family, go off campus, have a nice big lunch, come back, take pictures of your graduate. And I say that because the ceremony will run very late and nobody is in the mood for pictures after, and it will be very dark. So get your nice daylight, sunlight pictures now, early in the day, and try to get those before 3 o'clock. Because as the previous panelists mentioned, 3 to 5 is usually the time for the college reception. So at the residential college, housing and dining usually puts out, a lot of good food to eat, some grab and go stuff, but some to sit down and enjoy with your student one last time. They often sit with other graduates and their families. So it's just a good time where the magisters, the RAs, college coordinator will address the students as a whole, just as a college one last time. We do a toast. So it's really nice. And I think a lot of families don't realize that that's happening from 3 to 5. So some of them miss out or are late on it. But if you can attend that, it's a really special moment in the college itself. And then at 5 p.m., so I know they said the stadium gates open. That's also when we'll start preparing for the Sallyport walk. Now, your heart is going to tell you I should go to the Sallyport and watch my student. I would say please go to the stadium at that time. You will be able to see your student on the Jumbotron. What happens when all the parents go to the Sallyport is it gets really backed up traffic wise, and the Sallyport walk ends up taking a long time because parents are in the actual Sallyport. It's hard to walk through, and you won't get a good picture of your student at that time. So we want to avoid you guys leapfrogging over each other to get a good picture. You can see it at the stadium on the Jumbotron, and then we can walk through smoothly. And then the ceremony will begin. We process in founding order. I know Susan had mentioned try to sit on the side where your student's college is so you can get a good view of them. And the ceremony is long. This is, I think, the second largest commencement class. Once we had that 5-year enrollment increase, last year's class was the first big one, so we saw how long the ceremony can go. It is a journey. So I think we are getting out probably close to 10 p.m. After the fireworks. So I would just encourage, have a plan to meet up with your students after the ceremony, pick a location where you all will meet, because it'll be very dark, very crowded. Just be patient with everyone. Um, and yep, that's my main tips for the day. Okay, I covered most of these, but it is May in Houston. It is going to be hot and humid. I think last year was maybe the only year in my tenure that I've been here that it was pleasant outside, but it's still very hot. I would encourage something every year we run into is graduates looking for bobby pins and safety pins for their caps, their stoles, their robes in the back. So whatever you can pre-supply them with, it would be very helpful, so they won't be rushing when it's time to go walk. Here's the number here. We have almost 1,150 graduates, which is really big for Rice. Again, the college receptions are typically 3 to 5 p.m. I think they will finalize that soon, and encouraging you to go to the stadium for the Sallyport walk. So, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you all for sharing this information. We do have this last slide that kind of serves as a combination of the resources that we've talked about so far. So if any of you on your computer want to take a screenshot of some of these resources, this would be a good time to do so. The commencement website, as has been mentioned, commencement.rice.edu, will be an exhaustive resource for all things commencement leading up to the actual ceremony in May. So that's where you'll be able to see some of the resources we highlighted earlier on ceremony guidelines. You'll be able to see the map of the stadium so you can see which side to sit on to be closer to your student's residential college. As we mentioned, a number of schools of study and other organizations will hold events in the days leading up to commencement. So as many of those that share their information with us, we'll make sure that we get those added to the commencement website. It'll also be a helpful place where you can see some of these questions that are commonly asked and some answers to those questions as well. In addition, commencement@rice.edu is an email address that is monitoring all things commencement and also updates that website regularly. So additional questions can be sent there as well. Esther, as a reminder from our registrar's office, is going to be the student portal where students make sure that they are on top of all things pertaining to commencement. So that's where they'll confirm their diploma information. That's also where they can check on their graduation status. The Office of the Registrar also has some helpful resources on their website registrar.rice.edu. You can also see our sites for ordering your regalia and your rice ring. And one more resource that I wanted to highlight that we haven't yet is our Rice Parent to Parent Network Facebook page. If you are unfamiliar with this page or not a member, you can search for it on Facebook. It's just the Rice Parent to Parent Network. And on there, you will see some helpful conversations and threads that have been developed around various topics on commencement. We have some parents in the page who maybe have current and previous OWLs, or some graduated parents who are in the page as well, who are happy to share their experience. So if you do ever have a question on just kind of the parent side of thing, whether it's when should I plan on coming in, where's a good place to grab dinner on a day around commencement, that is a great place to send those in. And we would encourage you to use that resource. So now we will go into our questions and answers portion of the time today. So we'll get started with one of our pre-submitted questions. We had a parent ask if students will have their honors announced at graduation, or what kind of is announced as they walk across the stage. Rachel, do you want to handle that?
Yeah, I can answer that. The quick answer is no, the honors are not announced as the student crosses the stage, just their name. A few years ago, that was not the case. They did announce honors, but as the student body has grown and the ceremony has changed and evolved over the years, grades are not actually even due until after commencement. So the students participating won't know until grades are submitted and honors are calculated, whether or not they receive honors. They're not announced at commencement anymore.
All right, got it. We have kind of answered some of these questions about walking, whether parents will go to watch students walk through the Sally Port. A helpful question that was asked is whether there is a live stream. It was mentioned there's a live stream of the Sally Port walk, but also a live stream for the commencement ceremony itself. Yeah. Does anybody want to tackle that one?
Yes, we will be doing a live stream.
All right, yes. And I think that there is also, in case of severe weather, the ceremony will still go on as planned, but there is an alternate spot. Well, not severe weather. Like if there's lightning in the area, we're probably not going to do a ceremony. But if it is raining, it is a rain or shine ceremony. But there is an additional spot on campus that typically will broadcast that live stream if you have relatives who may or may not be able to go sit through the extreme weather. So that's an option that will be available to you as well. I think that's typically in Hudspeth Auditorium, but you can check our commencement website in the days leading up to the ceremony to confirm that.
And obviously we want to pull the event off if we needed to hold the event. If we saw that weather was clearing, we would do that if it were an opportunity. But hopefully it'll be a lovely day and we'll go on as planned.
All right. Another question that popped up, and I think Tamara, you mentioned this briefly, but when and where would be the best, or when would be the best time for family who are coming out of time to arrive and leave? And what would be some suggested times to kind of plan a family celebration around commencement?
Yeah, I think Saturday lunch is probably the most optimal time. Dinner is going to be really hard to pull off just because you're getting out around 10 p.m. Most restaurants are closed. So I would say if you want a celebratory meal, do Saturday lunch or Sunday. It's Mother's Day. It's often a celebratory day anyway. And I think I saw someone ask, I know there's often department and academic receptions during the week, either on that Friday or Thursday. So that could be a good time as well.
All right. Another common question that we've gotten from some parents are surrounding the stadium itself, since there's been recently the announcement of the Gateway Project, and upcoming construction to the stadium. So one parent asked us if construction will begin before or after commencement, and if it will impact the ceremony in any way.
Not that I'm aware of. I don't know if Susan or anyone wants to jump in on that one.
Right, yeah, I do believe that. I think we had mentioned it before our presentation, but the plan is for that construction to start after the ceremony. So that should not impact commencement for spring 2026. Another question that we had was around the professional photography at the ceremony. If anyone would like to share just kind of about what those options look like for the photographs for the students, and if there's any other potential photography options.
I think we may have lost Susan temporarily. So I'll jump in and say there's a professional photographer to capture that moment of the student crossing the stage and shaking President DeRoche's hand and celebrating. And there are Rice photographers out and about on campus throughout commencement festivities. And there's also portrait sessions available before leading up to commencement weekend. Students can wear their cap and gown and have an official portrait taken.
All right. Another question we had, and Tamara, I might, if you need some time to look this up, but I think you may know the answer from the residential side is when do graduates have to move out of their residential colleges? Is that usually before or after the ceremony?
Oh, it's after. It's either that Sunday or Monday after. I want to say it's Monday, but we'll confirm.
All right, got it. I believe that will also be in accordance with whatever's in the housing contract for students on what the move out day would be.
Yeah, that's accurate. It
Um,
should actually be in the housing agreement.
yeah. A question about the ceremony itself that popped up was how would relatively healthy but older relatives approach graduation? Any tips for just kind of the mindset of sitting for a long time, what the restrooms are like at the commencement ceremony, whether it's a good idea to walk around the stadium for some portion of time. If anybody wants to chime in on that.
I'm happy to address that. It's like any stadium, right? If you need extra padding, bring it. That's fine. It's encouraged. Pay attention to the weather. Also, we have a wonderful ushering service, and so if there is additional help needed, talk to those ushers. They will, if they cannot help you, they will find help for you. But our whole goal is to make everyone as comfortable as possible. Um, we have concessions open. We will have concessions open the entire time, and we'll have menu items because, as my colleague Tamara mentioned, it's a pretty long ceremony. So, get up, walk around, make sure that you're sitting in a place that you have access if you need it to, easier access for perhaps older family members to the restrooms or to just get up and stretch your legs, right? There's plenty of room and plenty of seating, so plan ahead.
All right, perfect. Then another question is around stadium seats, whether there's seat backs available to rent for guests. I'm not sure if I've seen information about that being available, but potentially that could be something that can be brought in by guests for the stadium.
Yes.
All right, got it. Um, all right, also seeing thank you to a parent in the chat. Michelle, who's actually one of our moderators of the Parent to Parent Network Facebook page, has shared with us that the housing agreement has move out deadline as May 11th at 4 p.m. So that would be the Monday following commencement. All right. Some additional questions have popped up around mobility issues and just kind of the ramps at the stadium. So, Susan, would you be able to share just kind of about what that looks like and then what the accessible seating areas look like as well for our guests who may have to access one of those areas.
Well, and you know, to an earlier point that's made, it is, you know, it's an older stadium. We will be, I'm sure many of you have heard of the Gateway Project. It's been well touted over the last few months. And so that's an exciting addition. And when that does start, which will not be this year, but or maybe late in the year after football season, but you know, we'll have you know, we'll meet current ADA guidelines, but we actually do meet current ADA guidelines, but it is an old facility, and so we have to remember that. What I would do again is just say plan ahead. ADA accessible seating is marked on the stadium map. And, you know, if you need, you know, we have sign language, we have other readily accessible ADA areas. So I think it's just as you would think if you were going to watch, you know, your child at any event in a stadium, you know, just plan ahead and make yourself as comfortable as possible.
All right, we have another parent who has a student graduating in the future, completing their classes in December 2026, but is prepared to attend the May 2027 ceremony. So, Rachel, would you be able to kind of share from the registrar perspective when those deadlines to commit to the future ceremonies would be?
Sure. So if a student, if the student already knows their plan, please just have them email our office and we can make a note of that intention. Students are eligible to walk across the stage one time. So if they graduate in August or December, they can walk across the stage we do have a December ceremony or in May. If this student is planning to graduate next year, they could just tell us now when they plan to walk. The issue is if a student is planning to walk early before requirements are completely finished. So maybe take a summer abroad this summer, but they want to walk in May with their matriculating class. That does need to be petitioned with the Dean of Undergraduates, and there are certain conditions to be met. But if they want to walk later, that's not a problem. They just need to let us know their plan, and we note that so we ensure that everyone walks the stage one time.
All right. Let's see. We had a question about if you can bring an outside photographer. I don't know if Susan, you may have some insight into this.
Well, I mean, you know, parents take photographs all the time, but you're not going to be able to manipulate down by the stage, right? So we are capturing photographs. We have a wonderful vendor who has done the ceremony multiple times. She and her team are amazing. So whether it's professional photographs, we use our own staff as well as the professional photographer that we subcontract for those important graduation when you're getting your diploma and shaking hands. Of course, we have a professional photographer that handles that. So can you bring one? Sure, but they still need to stay up in the stadium in the scene.
And they would need one of your students' commencement tickets as well.
All of those things. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me. We do have another couple of questions again regarding if there's an air-conditioned area in the stadium for an older relative, or we had mentioned previously an indoor area where individuals can watch it in a climate-controlled setting. Again, from the commencement website, I think Hudspeth Auditorium is the designated place for family members to go if they want to watch it in a climate controlled setting. I'm not sure if there are like formal air conditioned areas currently available to the public for that situation.
No, not in the stadium, but to your point,
Mm-hmm.
the other thing too, if you just don't know I just want to emphasize again that, of course, the timing of when the ceremony starts, you're not going to get a lot of sun, so that's to your advantage. I would still, remember you want to make yourself as comfortable as possible. So what do you do in the Texas sun? You typically wear light colored clothing. If you need a hat, bring a hat, umbrella, sunscreen if you need it. Not that you're going to have a lot of sun there, but we know that they're sensitive skin. You might want to bring some mosquito spray. Always good to tuck that in as well. And then again, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. We'll have concessions open, and just use your best judgment. And I know that you do this daily, especially for those who might have some sensitivities of varying kinds. And so use your best judgment, and we know that it'll be good. We also have, of course, our emergency management on site. They're phenomenal. And if there is a need for them to engage, they will.
All right. And then the last couple of questions, just kind of confirming the ticketing process. Those emails and the invitations will be going out to students' email inboxes. I believe Susan mentioned ideally by the end of next week or within the next couple of weeks.
That's the
Or,
invitation to the event. The ticketing,
okay.
we'll have information on the website for when those tickets will be available. But no, that's not next week. It'll be in a few weeks. We'll see when exactly.
All right, yes. Bottom line being, make sure your student is checking their at rice.edu email address, as that's where that information will be. And as far as requesting additional tickets or things like that, that can also be sent to our office lines at commencement@rice.edu. We'll be able to share some additional information there. One last question was whether surrounding the live stream, if it will be shared live on YouTube. I am seeing we have a stream recording of last year's graduation ceremony on YouTube. So I believe that should be the case again. If not on YouTube, there will be a live stream on the commencement website that you'll be able to use to see the stream itself. And then as far as the Sallyport walkthrough, Tamara, I don't know if you're familiar with this, whether that recording is available for posterity or if that's just for the live stream at the stadium.
That I'm not sure. I think it may just be live stream. Yeah, Susan's nodding. So
Yes, and hey, David, one of the things I didn't mention, if I may, please, let's pretend that you need some more tickets, or your cousin has decided to come. You can get tickets that day at the gate too.
All right, got it. One more question that we did have is whether the stadium seats are bucket seats or bench seats. I think for most of the seating sections, it will be just a basic bench seat, but the cushioned seats would be a good option for you to bring in for guests that may need it.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you all so much, especially to our panelists for being here, sharing your information with our parents today. And thank you, parents, for joining us today. We're grateful to you for being here, for submitting your questions. As a reminder, if we did not get to one of your questions today, if you're looking for some additional information, you can email our office at parents@rice.edu. We will make sure your question gets to the right place. As a reminder, this recording will also be made available on our website at parents.rice.edu/webinar, where you can access previous webinar recordings. Thank you again so much for being here. Have a great rest of your day and go Owls.